putting too much into it. Yeah. Let's get this fire started. Sports became my passion. Convo bring it to life, highlighting all the action. Opinions could explode like a chemical reaction. If we started from the bottom, now rise up the newest caption. Man, it's known that every team and every person got an emphasis. But this that similarity that smokes all of our differences. Statements can get real, better back it up with evidence. Prove it for the record, watch this hour of deliverance. Haters outside the lines, but we do it quite frankly. Cause I'm around the horn, so just part the interruption. Cause the hatred they be spreading is an unwanted production. Good morning, Ethan. What's up? Everybody. Shout out to everybody, alright? One more time and then we gonna go.
Shine like a sun on 101, you should know that. I get the front and in the back, you should know that. No need to stun, it's never cap, you should know that. All I know, I do 10 toes, never fold, bang roll, on the go, ice hold, can't find my way, I need my hands, just like this real, no paper tag, ain't no defense, I get it in, can't find my way.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. The new year. Again, like I said, new year, first show of the year, but the last regular season show of the year. Like and share the show. Obviously, you know where I am. I'm still at work. Sorry about that. Again, let's talk about this Week 17 matchup coming up. Bills, Dolphins. Again, keys to victory. I want to start off the show by talking about keys to victory, and I think one of the main keys to victory today will be the offensive line blocking, being able to block. You know, Shaq Lawson and them will have some motivation to try to get this game. All right. First of all, they're trying to get in the playoffs. Number two, what a better way to get back at the Bills by, you know, keeping them out of the number 2 seed if they can. All right. Because it's real simple. Bills win, the number 2 seed is theirs. Right. It's real simple, real easy. Right. But if they don't win, and Pittsburgh just so happens to win or whatever the case may be, then you're going to have a situation where the Bills become a 3 seed, and that's important. Very important, because either they get it, and they get a bunch of home games. If they win the first one, they get a second one, or they win the first one, maybe. Hopefully they win the first one, and then they have to play on the road. So it's very important. Either way, you can just set it down there. Thank you very much.
Hey, have a nice day, bro.
You as well. All right. So it's very simple. Real easy, real simple, right? All right. So number one, the Buffalo Bills offensive line, I'm going to need them to block. If they're going to start their starters, which I suspect that they will start Josh Allen and them for maybe a half or so, they're going to have to block. All right. Run blocking is going to be super important. Controlling the time of possession will be super important today. Especially with the fact that you guys all know that they signed Kenny Stills. So the reason for that is obviously because Cole Beasley and John Brown, you've seen the situations with them. There's some issues at the wide receiver position. Not the best time to have those situations, but nevertheless, rest is important. So running the football will be important to chew up the clock. Time of possession, things of that nature, sustaining first downs is going to be super important. So offensive line has to block on every aspect. Number two, it's going to be important for the Bills to start fast. I don't know how fast you can start with running the football majority of the game, but I don't know how fast you can start. But it's going to be important to have a fast start against Miami. All right. And number 3, again, with controlling the tempo, you have to be able to have which Josh Allen has done a lot better this year, and the Bills have done a lot better this year with, is not making mistakes. All right. The least amount of mistakes you make, the better off you are. Right. And I see already in the comment section there's a lot of things being said. It's playoff time. We might have to make that trip, though. Might be the last season game, but Bills not done yet. Yeah, I don't think the Bills are done yet. In fact, I think the Bills will go very far. It just all depends on how the Bills play. You know, it all depends on how management pulling for your team, man. Yeah, Eric, what's going on? It all depends on how they approach this situation. Brandon Beane and them have done a phenomenal job at approaching situations very well this year and last year. I'll give them last year credit too. This year, but this year is very special, and with this year being super special, you have to give them props for what they've done in such a short amount of time. All right, so those are my 3 keys to victory. You can put it in the comment section what's yours, or you can call 716-481-8249. What are your keys to the Bills being victorious this week? All right, what are your keys to victory? All right, so we talked about what's on the line as well. Obviously, Miami wins, they're in. If they lose, they may not be in, depending on what goes on. Bills win, number 2 seed. All right. Milestones. I'll get into some milestones. The Bills have had milestones for the last 4 to 5 weeks because this season, again, like I said before, has been super special. With it being super special, a lot of records have been broken. Okay? A lot of records have been broken because of it. All right. Now, one of the records today is with the Bills win, the Bills would finish 13-3 and tie the franchise record for most wins in the season. Can you tell me when the last time the Bills had a 13-win season? All right, put it in the comment section if you know, or call. All right, it would be great to get some callers in. This is the first show of the year. Let's get some more engagement, some more interaction. It'd be great. All right, I appreciate it. All right, honestly, in my opinion, one of the best well-rounded teams in the NFL this year, Eric said. Yep, I agree, Eric. They've been very well-rounded. Very well-rounded. And again, that's all thanks to the offensive coordinator wanting to do better. That's all in particular to Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott, wanting to continue to push a great positive culture here in Buffalo. Josh Allen stepping up his game. The acquirement of Stephon Diggs was phenomenal for the team. I mean, they got behind these moves, and they have been on fire since. They have rallied around the positivity here. All right. So, Bills key to victory. Eric said no turnovers, ground game, must start hot, able to play to enable the play action. I agree 110%. Ethan said Bills are a Hail Mary away from winning 9 straight. That's true. Josh needs 40 yards to pass Drew Bledsoe for a record for a single season record. Yes, that's true as well, Ethan. Very true. All right. Can you tell me, though, when the last time the Buffalo Bills had a 13-win record? All right, the Bills would be victorious in their final 6 games and post their best finish to a season ever. All right. Uh, Here's another thing that's on the line, and I know Marcus Betts and Mookie Hawkins had this bet that the Bills would or wouldn't sweep their division. Would they win today? The Buffalo Bills will have swept their division foes. Do you know how many times the Bills have swept their division foes? I would tell you it's never. How about that? There's the answer to the question. All right. Don't forget to give me the answer to the first question, but I will tell you that the Bills have never swept their divisional opponents ever. They've never won 6-0. All right. Sean McDermott obviously is entering today's game with a career coaching record of 37-26. With the win, he would break the tie with Chuck Knox for third most wins by a coach in history. Eric, that is correct. 1993 is, no, wrong. It's not correct. 1993 is not the answer. Sorry. Yes, Ethan, never. They've never done it before. All right? So they've never swept their divisional foes ever. They've never won 6-0. So Mookie Hawkins making that bet was an astronomical bet. You got to have a whole lot of confidence in your team to do that. The answer is 1991, Ethan. You're right. That is correct. 1991 would be the answer. They also did it in another season as well. Can you tell me what other season that they won 13 games? All right. Josh Allen, we talked about it. He needs 40 yards to surpass Drew Brees. I mean, not Drew Brees. Drew Brees. Yeah, right. That'll take a long time. Drew Bledsoe's record of 4,359 yards that was set in 2002. All right. He needs 40 of those yards. The Bills entering Week 17 have scored 445 points this season. They need 14 points to pass the 458 points scored in 1991 to establish a new team record. Okay, so a lot of milestones early being surpassed. Here's another one. I don't even think folks know this one. This is quite interesting. I didn't know it either until I actually looked it up. With 8 points from Tyler Bass today, he can surpass what? Buffalo Bills kicker for the single season record that was set. Tell me about it. Who can Tyler Bass pass? I'll give you a hint. 1998 was the year. All right. They said stop Googling the answers. Stop Googling the answers. That's funny. Adam Cole, LOL. Listen, the Bills season has been undisputed. I'll tell you that. All right. So, here's a couple more stats real quick. The Dolphins' playoff percentage is at 62.4 right now. The Bills' number 2 seed percentage is at 57.9. I don't know why. I'm a little annoyed. Okay? I'm a little annoyed. Here's some interesting stats, too. Tua. Oh, quit whining. Steve Christie. Yes, that's the answer. Steve Christie is the correct answer. So Tua Tagovailoa, in his first 6 starts, averaged 8.8 yards per attempt. Okay. Is Tua starting today? That's remain to be seen. All right. If you know who Miami is starting, you can put it in the comment section. If you know. All right. I wish, by the way, Alex. The Bills' offense has really been in tune. 6.5 yards per play over the last 4 weeks, averaging 36 and a half points per game, is second best in the NFL. All right. Marie Sanders is here. Eric, quick question. How scared are y'all going to be if Tennessee gets that 7th seed? LOL, just playing. I will tell you this. The answer to that question, Eric, is 0. It's a big 0. The Bills aren't afraid of the Titans, and I want people to stop having a. Well, I can understand why you asked that question, but some things can be very skewed. Okay, and what I mean by that is when the Buffalo Bills played Tennessee at Tennessee, a couple of things took place, and I think we remember. First and foremost, we remember Tennessee it was suggested that Tennessee had broke some COVID rules. The game got moved. A whole lot of things happened with that, right? No start. Nobody was fined or suspended for that. And I think the Bills just honestly that week just was a bad week. With COVID, I mean, this is something new. All teams are getting acquainted with having to push back games, this, that, and the third. So I think that was the Bills' first time for that happening, and it took a toll on the Bills, in which I think it took a good toll on them, and here's why. Number one, it woke them up because, we were undefeated. The Bills was undefeated when they went against the Titans. So already, there's a swagger about yourself when you're undefeated. You got a swag about yourself, and they needed a reality check. And to be honest with you, that was the reality check. One of the reality checks that put the Bills back to where they needed to be until I want to say they lost to the Chiefs. I will say that they lost to the Chiefs. That was the back-to-back losses. Those 2 losses put them where they needed to be. In fact, the only loss since then has been Hail Murray, right? I think Hail Murray is the only loss they've had. Yeah. So, with that being said, I don't think the Bills would be afraid to play Tennessee in Buffalo at all. And in fact, I'll say this, not to mention my favorite team, but the blueprint is out on how you stop Tennessee. And I think the Bills could very well stop them in the first round, the same way that it was shown just last week. All right. So there's your answer to that question. Sorry, it was a little more drawn out than usual, but I just wanted to put that out there that it was a little different. All right. Love your analysis of Bills, well thought out and informative. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you. You know what? The reason why I keep doing this is because you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to continue to keep doing it. All right? I'll continue to keep doing whatever I can to give you, the unbiased, real, thought out analysis to things. There may be some things I need to work on myself as far as putting it out there more or getting it to you in a better fashion, but I will work on that. 2021 is here. Okay? We got a caller from Illinois, I think. Illinois, you on the line? Illinois, are you there? Okay. Can't hear him. Sorry about that. Caller, you on the line from Illinois? Yeah, no. All right. Moving on. Appreciate you, Alex. Matt, what's going on? Shout out to you guys. Like and share, by the way. I'm trying to like and share. I'm trying to share the show at the same time, but I appreciate you guys definitely. So those are a couple of milestones. that the Bills have this week. I need to talk about this injury report. Let's get into some injury reporting. Reggie Gilliam is out. Cole Beasley is out. Okay? They're out this week. For sure. And guess what? That's the whole injury report. Right there. There's your injury report. Gilliam's out. Cole Beasley's out. Cole Beasley is week to week. He will be back for week 1. Hold on a second, Mook. Let me see if I can actually just invite you, send you an invite right now, so I can get you on here. I should be able to do that. Let's see. Shout out to the coach, by the way, who I'm about to get on here in just a moment. Put your questions. Now is the time. You can put your thoughts, comments, questions in the comment section. Also, you know what? Yes, Croft has COVID-19. We know about that as well. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you for mentioning that, because I kind of probably wasn't going to mention that. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me see if I can get Mookie on this other line. Oh, no, I think. All right. Sent you the invite, Mook. All right, there you go. Keith, what up? Your thoughts on I will talk about that a little later, Alex, about that college football playoff. I'll talk about that later. So those are that's your injury report. Cole Beasley, Reggie Gilliam, and obviously Tyler Croft has COVID. So here's some questions I'm going to ask, and I meant to ask this last week, actually. I meant to ask you guys, I'm going to ask you guys again. Obviously, there's rumors about... All right, we got another caller from Illinois. What's up? No, it's Sunday. I don't know why they calling. What up, fam? 12-3 going to the ball. Yeah, it could. Got to bounce, brother. Great show. Good luck this week and next. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. Keith, yeah. So let's talk about a couple things. Number one, obviously there's some rumors about Brian Daboll and Leslie Frazier might, with coaching jobs. So let me ask this question. Who would you want to replace those guys if they were to get, coaching jobs? Because it very well could happen. I mean, you don't coach in this league just to want to be an offensive coordinator. You coach because you want to be a coach. You want to be the head coach. All right? So I'm kind of wondering. I really didn't get you guys' opinions on that last week. And there's something else I want to talk about too. And it's the city of Buffalo is allowing fans, 6,772 to be exact. I want to talk about that as well. And I want to talk about the Buffalo Bills schedule next season. The Bills schedule for 2021 as well. Before we go off the air, and hopefully I can get Mookie in here before we go, because I know he has a lot to say too. So I'm gonna try. So right now, put your comments in the comment section, and let's roll. You guys got some funny comments in the comment section. Misery loves company. Things of that nature. Charles Jefferson Jr., what's up? So the Buffalo Bills opponents for 2021 home games, they have Miami, obviously. There are 4 divisional games. Well, 3 divisional games. Miami, New England, the Jets, the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina, the Texans, the Colts, Steelers, right? All of those games are winnable games. Every single one of those games are winnable at home. I don't see Buffalo having a problem with any of those teams for next season. Any of those teams, and I mean any. And I know there's some Steelers fans in here, but I don't see them having a problem winning any of those games. Now it could all depend on what happens next season as far as acquisitions, things of that nature. We'll talk mock draft 2021 in a couple of weeks, in the next couple of weeks. But for right now, I don't see where the Bills could have an issue. On the away side, they play the Saints, the Bucks, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Jaguars. Now that's where it gets a little tricky because New Orleans is going to battle. Tampa Bay is going to battle. Tennessee, obviously, they played them last year. They're going to battle. We got a caller. Caller on the line. Okay. Being played with today again. Kansas City, obviously that's gonna be a battle in Kansas City. So I could see 3 or 4 battles. Those 4 road games ain't no joke. The Saints, Tampa, Tennessee, Kansas City. None of those are gimmies at all. But can I see the Bills sweeping the division again? Yeah, I could see that happening. I could. But then again, teams get better as seasons go along. How many years do I think Brady has left? Probably 2, which I think you gotta see Tom Brady at least once before it's all over, right? Gotta see him at least once before he retires. Give him that butt whooping that the Bills been looking for the longest. Got to spank him. Got to. All right. So I look forward to that next season. If I'm still here. Okay. I'm getting all these Illinois calls right now. It's quite annoying. What's up, Marcus? All right. Any questions you have, you can put it in the comment section right now. Q&A segment. We are 30 minutes into the show. Again, this is the first show of the year and the last regular season show of the year. So, and again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to apologize off the rip. Did not know I wasn't allowed to tag people. I tell you, the sabotage has been real in 2020, folks. Just love to sabotage sometimes, and it's quite annoying, but still we got to continue to press on regardless of the sabotaging. All right. Yeah, Matt, I'm sure they will be primetime games. I am 110% sure they will be primetime games. The Bills will at least get 3 to 4 primetime games again this year. Again next season. Got to. All right. So again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the opponents for next year. Again, Carolina, Houston, Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, the Saints, Tampa, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Kansas City. All right. So they're getting the NFC South next year, the NFC South. They will get part of the AFC North, AFC South, and yeah, and they will get the AFC West. Again, Kansas City, AFC West. All right. I'm getting all these calls from Chicago right now, or from Illinois right now. It's hilarious. Okay, so with that being said, I need to get into this, and I'm glad that we got some time. So the city has allowed for 6,772 people to be involved in watching the playoff games. And a lot of people not gonna like my opinion, but that's fine and dandy. I'm still gonna give it anyway. My opinion is that, for one, I think it's a disservice to the community. I think it's a major disservice to the community, and here's why. I don't know if anybody noticed, but 8 out of the 13 teams that actually have attendance are either playoff worthy teams or in the playoffs right now. And I will give you those teams. I'm going to tell you who those teams are, and I'm going to tell you that it bedazzles me in some way, shapes, or forms as far as why the Buffalo Bills don't have more people involved in this playoff game. So the Atlanta Falcons have 10,000, right? Their capacity is 71,000, so that's about 15 to 20%, 15% capacity. The Carolina Panthers have 7% capacity at 5,200, right? The Bengals have 18% capacity at 12,000. The Cleveland Browns have 12,000. The Cowboys, 31,700 in capacity. The Texans, that have 13,300 in capacity. The Colts, 12,500. Jacksonville, 16,800. Kansas City, 16,000, which is 22%. The Miami Dolphins, 13,000. The Saints, 3,000. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have 16.5 thousand people, which is 25% capacity. Tennessee has 10,300 people, which is a 15% capacity, right? So out of those 13 teams, I named 8. 8 of them are either in the hunt for a playoff or already in the playoffs, right? With that being said, I think that is super important when it comes to the playoff games, because we all know that with crowd noise comes an advantage. You play for the advantage. I get it. This is COVID-19 season, and you want to make sure people are safe. But out of the places I just named, and the teams I just named, New York City's COVID rate is less than any of those places, for one. For number 2, I wouldn't have a big issue if I felt like, as far as the shutdowns and what's closed and what's open, were consistent too. There's been major inconsistencies here with what we want to open, what we want to close, this, that, and the third. And The stadium fits about 78,000 people. To only have 6,700 people at a playoff game in which the Bills haven't been in the playoffs for 25 years, I think is a major disservice. I don't feel that the community is represented, for one. And two, season ticket holders are going to be the ones who get to see these games. Last I looked, and this is just my opinion, so if you don't agree with my opinion, you can call me or you can inbox me. But majority of the city, when I look at season ticket holders, it's $100 per seat deposit. There's 8 home games. A lot of people can't afford $800 to go to playoff games. Oh, well, for a season ticket. I'm going to be honest. I can't afford that. I personally can't afford that. So I think it's a disservice that the community can't be involved. I think the right number would have probably been, well, there's 13,000 season ticket holders right now who still opted in. But I think the right number probably would have been, and this is just my opinion, 25%. If you can't social distance 25% capacity, I have a problem. In a state where the COVID rates aren't the highest, then I have an issue. And I take issue with that. Ray Francis, what up? The other thing too is, so even though they have this rule where if you go to the first playoff game, you can't go to the second one, it's still not representing people who don't have season tickets and people who are going to want to come to those games. People who can maybe afford one ticket and not $800 worth of tickets. It doesn't represent those people, which I think is absolutely wrong, in my opinion. Now, 25% of 70,000 or 78,000 would be what? Right around 13,000 folks. 13,000 You're around like 15, 16,000 folks. I just think that we could have did better as far as representation. If we're going to allow people to come to these games, I just think that the number could have been more geared towards allowing the community, more of the inner city community, be allowed to attend these games. And that's just my honest opinion. All right. And with that being said, I have to get back to work. I just wanted to thank everybody for listening, tuning in. Again, you can like and share. You can share this wherever you want. All right. Week 17 will be in the books coming up. And playoff time is approaching. All right, so.
Putting too much into it.
Thank you again. Appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you for the playoffs.
Let's get this fire started. Sports became my passion. Convo bring it to life, highlighting all the action. Opinions could explode like a chemical reaction. If we started from the bottom, now rise up the newest caption. Man, it's known that every team and every person got an emphasis. But this that's